Hi and welcome to Time We Create, a podcast where I take you behind the scenes of starting and growing my creative business and juggling the rest of my life, my hobbies, the sports, being a mom and trying to be creative and all that house. Here we discuss topics on the mindset, some ideas and all sorts of business topics, so I hope you enjoy. In today's episode, I would like to share my experience and thoughts about the coaching and mentorship, and I had both good and bad experience with that, and I hope that this episode will help you to make the right decisions that will support the journey that you would like to be on as a creator, as a business owner, and as a person, really. I believe that when done right, mentoring or coaching can bring a very positive change to your both personal and professional lives, and it can help you to explore the areas that maybe were a bit scary, uncomfortable to you, or highlight some blind zones that you were not even thinking about, or to open you as a person from a different perspective that you may be not aware you had this side. And first of all, I would like to mention that most of my work experience up to this time is actually being an employee, and there I got used to idea of mentorship rather than coaching. So I see a mentor as a person who has a similar experience to you. So imagine you got stuck in a deep pit and you feel like you can't get out. It can be something on the personal side or on the business side. And the mentor is a person who has been in the same pit at some point in their lives, and they are happy to jump inside it and help you from their experience, so they can guide you through the ways how to get out of there, because they have been there, they know how to do it. I see the coach a bit differently. I see them as professionals who haven't necessarily been in your situation or are from your area, from your niche, or from your industry, but they have qualifications. And for me, it's important that the coach has those recognizable qualifications, because they are trained to coach you out of that pit without being inside or without having that experience. But they have the tools and they have the knowledge how to help you or how to guide you so that you could help yourself to get out of there. Personally, for my professional life, I like the idea of mentorship because first of all, they know the specifics of my industry. They have probably been in the situation that I'm currently now. They see it from the inside, and if they don't have the answer, they probably have someone in their network who can support them and myself with that answer. And also, they usually have a lot of experience, more than I do, to mentor me, and I can see how my steps that I can make and do right now can bring me to some bigger results based on the picture that I see from my mentor. One of the huge things to remember if you would like to become a mentee or coachee is that, of course, having someone who guides you, who encourages you, who makes you to go out of your comfort zone and keeps you accountable is really great, but it's also a big chunk of work is done by you, because you have to take action, you have to provide feedback, you have to build those relationships with the mentor or coach, and so it's 50% of the work is yours. And if you don't have time or you don't have energy to do it, maybe it's time to either free up some time and find ways to invest in being a mentee, being a coaching. My very first experience with mentorship was at my first job. I joined the company as a junior engineer, and it was part of my development program. So it's not something that I came up myself, that I need one. I didn't choose my mentor at that time. My mentor was chosen for me by my manager, and it was a really lucky match. We discussed my professional development. We discussed how I can get the experience that I wanted to get. At the time of my professional insecurity, I was shown the strong sides of my personality and also the strong side of my knowledge. I was lucky to meet other engineers and other people, thanks to my mentor, who helped me along the way on my career development. And I was very lucky to get involved in projects that were interesting to me, that were also challenging to me. It wasn't easy, but it was definitely a lot of fun and a lot of learning. I could also see my mentor as a role model because I understood what does the true leadership means, because of the ways he talks to the colleagues, because of the ways he approaches different situations, and it made me feel very secure, but also very challenged as well. Based on this mentorship, I realized that a good mentor will put you in situations that are exciting, that develop you, and that they are interesting. It doesn't mean they are easy, because most of the times they were really hard, but after every conversation I was really sure and more confident that I can take up this challenge and develop myself and get to the next step. I also realized that personally I like to get inspired not only by the results the person has, but also by the personal values that we share with the mentor. All in all, during this mentorship, I got to work on the projects that were exciting but hard. I developed personally and professionally, and it was interesting, and I have so warm feeling remembering the time and remembering my experience and the people I met during my project, so I have only a good experience about this. But I also had the opposite experience when I decided to run my own business. I was on maternity leave, so I was offering some video editing services on the side, and as I had very limited time, I thought I start working with mentor just to make sure I use my time efficiently. I found a mentor who had a video agency, and they showed really good results, and this was really very inspiring. The whole vibe of this was about being efficient and productive and working towards the goals, which really aligns to the vibe that I have. I like to be efficient and productive. I felt that something was a bit off, but I couldn't really I didn't recognize it because of the achievements, because of the numbers that I was seeing as a result from this mentorship. I think they threw me off a little bit, and I decided, yeah, why not? During this mentorship, I was learning how to sell my services as not as video editor anymore, but more of the video creator. And I was told to approach people like I wouldn't want to be approached myself. And when I remember when somebody did this thing to me, I was very angry at them because they wasted my time, and it was really like not the way I would love to be approached. So I was told to do that. Luckily, I didn't do it because it didn't feel right. And even though it was working for other people, because in the chat I could see that other people are doing this and it's working for them, I didn't feel that this was the right thing for me. I think even my body at the time was telling me that it's not the right thing for me, because I was catching like every virus around me. But I was told by my mentors that I have to just switch my brightness a bit up and try to power it through. But in reality, I was barely trying to be awake at those times and couldn't really keep my eyes open. And I was told I would never grow my business if I keep distracted like that. There were other things when they made me feel bad for my values and the way I approach things, and I decided to stop the mentorship, and I felt such a relief. And also my head became clear, and I realized that the message they are sending out on their social media, on their website, is not the one that aligns with my values, even though I know that the people who do this program, they achieve results, but I wasn't ready to just ignore my values. And unlike the warm feeling of the first mentorship I shared with you today, with this one I felt that I wasted my time. I felt bad about myself. I felt bad about and angry about the decision to take this mentorship, but I felt really good that I didn't go against my values. And I know that sometimes I feel like quitting the thing when I feel the first resistance, but sometimes this resistance is just a resistance of trying something new. So I don't advise to quit straight away, but you have to listen to yourself. And if you have to close your eyes on your values, that's not something that's I think is good for you in terms of your growth. And as much as I like to rely on facts and numbers, I would love to ask you to rely on your intuition as well, and don't do something that is against your beliefs. Going forward, I decided to use some of the guidelines for choosing my next mentor or next coach, and I will share them with you here. So first of all is to wait a little bit and not take action, even though taking action is the best thing you can do. But here it's better to wait a little bit and observe what sort of the message the mentor is sharing with everyone else, because this is the most likely the thing that you will have or they will suggest or tell you to do in your business as well. And if those are not aligned, this will be a bad experience for both you and them. If you have a feeling that something is off, it's probably most likely 100% likely that it's not a feeling. I was very somehow unhappy when I signed my mentorship, even though it was supposed to be my growth and everything else, but I wasn't happy when I was signing it, and my experience there wasn't good as well. The next point is be in open communication with your mentor about your situation, about what you want, what you need, about your concerns, because in the example of good mentorship and my experience of good mentorship, I was open in my communication, and we worked through every my concern. We worked through every unsureness, I don't know if there is such a word, and everything that was concerning me, and it made me feel more confident in my work. But in the second mentorship, I was made feeling like I'm a loser to having those needs or to expressing those needs, and it wasn't really the best feeling. I would love to learn about your experience with mentorship or coaching. I hope that after this podcast you will choose your mentor and coach wisely, and you will have only good and positive experience and growth, and both professionally and personally. I would love to hear your stories in comments below, and we'll hear you and see you in the next podcast. Bye.